A little shorter than the last one since I've already given most of the details on that one. I will link it right over here so you can go watch it if you want to, if you're looking for more details on materials and things like that. But for part 2 of this how-to Decoden, it's going to be the whippy cases or whipped cream cases. Of course, it's not actual whipped cream, so I'm going to go over the materials you're going to need for this. The most important thing is going to be the whipped cream, which is silicone. You want to make sure that it is the white silicone 100%. You don't want it to be acrylic caulk or anything like that. The Alex Dat Plus is usually used and it's awful. It doesn't mold well, it dries hard, and it's like an off-white color, so I wouldn't use that. I would stick with something like this. This one I purchased from Walmart. My good friend Xanadu Julie from Julie Decoden suggested this one for me, so I've been using it and it's been working out great. Along with the whipped cream, another obvious thing is going to be the case for your phone, regardless of what model it is. I'm just using a clear case. Really doesn't matter because it's going to cover the whole back of it anyway, and the silicone is going to act like a glue, so you don't necessarily need glue unless you want 2 pieces to overlap. Then you might need to glue the pieces on top of one another, but I'll show you that in a moment. So I keep my super glue handy just in case. Another thing you're going to need are these tips, and they're cake decorating tips, and there's plastic ones and there are like metal ones. I prefer the plastic ones because they're much easier to clean. Once your whippy has dried, you're going to see that you can just go in with a tool and get it right out of there. So I'll show you that right now. As you can see here, it just comes right out, and this is the whippy silicone that dried into the shape of the nozzle, and you can just throw that away. You can get some on Amazon or eBay or just your local Michaels or Walmart. They have cake decorating tips like this. You have 2 ways that you can whippy deco. You can use piping bags like these, which are a little more difficult to find, but if you have like a cooking store or even eBay, of course you can find anything on there. These are from, I think, a local Korean shop that Julie sent me. Yeah, Julie's awesome. She sent me these, but these are piping bags, and you basically put the tip inside the bag, and I'll show you all that as well. If you don't want to use the piping bag, you can just use the silicone itself, the bottle. I'm going to show you how you cut it and attach the tip to the end of it with some tape. And the tips come in different shapes and designs, different openings and things like that. I like to use the star tip that has a bigger opening. Obviously, the bigger the opening, the more whippy that's going to come out and the thicker it'll be. So if you're a beginner, I wouldn't do it too thick, or else you're not really going to be able to control it very well. I have all of my usual tools here that I listed in the last video for the Pearl Deco. I have some Scribbles paint here. You can use 3D fabric paint, any kind of, these little bottles are really good. And this is for some icing if you want to add that on top of any of your pieces. It's totally optional. Another thing that's optional is coloring your whippy. So if you want to color your whipped cream, you can get some acrylic paint or some food coloring. Get a very, very small drop and mix it in with your silicone. If you do want to color your whipped cream, then you are going to need to use a piping bag because you'll have to mix these 2 together, obviously. So that'll be one extra step. I would not suggest this if you're a beginner because it is a little more difficult. It takes a lot longer to dry if you add even a small drop. And then I just have my pieces, my cabs, and some extra little stars and pearls and things like that. So once you have all the material set up, you're ready to start. And if you want to get a custom case made for yourself, stay tuned for the end where there will be a giveaway. If you want to use a pastry bag, I'm not going to waste my silicone by doing the 2 ways, so I'll just quickly explain it. The way that you do it is the pastry bag is like this. It has an opening right here at the top, which leads into kind of this conical shape, and at the very end is where your tip is going to go in. So what you want to do is cut this tip right here. And another important material I forgot to mention are some scissors. And insert the tip And as you can see, it's not fitting, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut a little bit more. That's why I said little by little, because you don't want to cut way too big of a hole. And that fits pretty well. Then you'll just cut the tip from your silicone, just cut it right there, and squeeze some out into here. And after you squeeze the silicone and it's inside the bag, you just roll it really tight, pushing all of your product down like this into the tip. Just keep pushing it down until all the silicone is in here. And then you'll have a little piping bag that you can just squeeze with your hands like this. Like I said, this is not the method I'm going to use, but you're welcome to use it. It's just as effective, and for some people it might be a little easier. But for me, I'm just going to use it straight out of the bottle. I have a piece of paper here so I can show you some different piping methods, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to get this set up. So I'm just going to cut the tip about this much, and then you're just going to put your cake topping tip on the top, and get your tape, and you're going to wrap your tape around it to secure it to the bottle. There are many different ways to pipe, and I'm going to show you the one I will use, but you want to squeeze from the very top. Of course, I also forgot, keep a paper towel handy so you can kind of wipe the tip off as you go. But the way that we're going to do this is just going to be squeezing it out, then you're going to bring it up and bring it down again. And stop squeezing when you're bringing it up. Just squeeze whenever you have it down like this. Stop squeezing and bring it up. Take it down again and squeeze. Kind of funny to talk about. And it'll just make this perfect little line of whipped cream. Just like this. Bring it up. Squeeze, bring it up. Squeeze, bring it up. You want 2 lines under the camera hole, and this is just how I do it, so you don't have to do it exactly like this, and 3, 1, 2, 3 like that. Obviously, if you use a bigger tip, you're not going to have as much room for that many lines, so you can always just do 2 here and 1 down here, whatever you like. I'm just going to go ahead and file down the back of the case a little bit. The friction and the roughness is going to help the silicone adhere to it just a little bit better. So you're going to see it kind of scratch the case, but it doesn't matter because the silicone is going to cover all that anyway. And again, just leave about 1 squeeze of space on the bottom because you're going to finish that in a little bit. Now your case is like a dried piece of cake. And this is your finished case. To preserve your silicone, just remove the top and put the lid back on and put a little bit of tape around it. It should be fine, and it should last you a couple more weeks, if not more. But yeah, just let the silicone inside the lid dry, and then you can peel it out later. Don't try to wash it off, or else you're gonna have a big mess. If you want to win your own customized case by Danielle of Jolie Petite Deco, who's the one that's made this amazing case for me, then just read the rules below so you can enter the giveaway. You will be receiving your own custom case with better materials than I used. She uses top quality UK materials. You'll be able to customize it yourself with whatever pieces she has available. If you don't have a phone model that she can work with, if it's, you know, really obscure or anything like that, she can always make you a compact mirror with the whippy Decoden like this. So you'll either receive a compact mirror, or if you have a phone model that she can work with, then you'll get a phone case. It doesn't necessarily have to be the iPhone. I'll leave the free shipping code right here. If you want to enter the giveaway, just read the rules below in the description box and just click show more. It'll show you down there, and it'll tell you all of the rules. You will have chances to enter more than once a day, but it is going to be once per entry. You can have multiple entries per day, but one of each only. So one of Facebook, one of YouTube, and etc. per day. The winner will be picked with random.org, so if you're gonna leave a sad story down there, I would wish I could give one of these to all of you, but I can't. I'm so sorry. I don't have the money to do that or the income, so I won't be choosing it by stories or anything like that. It will be random.org. If you want to win your own case, just read the bottom rules, and good luck!